This is a very
Hi, Joan. Welcome back. Good to see you again. So we'll get started in just a minute or two. If you have any questions, just go ahead, type them in the chat box, and we'll get right to them. Thanks. We'll be there in just a minute. Okay. Good evening, good afternoon, Joan, wherever you are. So good news. The people that were subscribed or signed up to come have not joined yet. So it looks like it's just you and me. You're getting a special treatment one-on-one. So I'm not going to drag you through the entire presentation again, but I'm just going to be available for any questions that you have, and maybe I can show you some things inside of Magloft. But definitely get your questions answered. So, and I have to apologize. It seems there's a little bit of a delay. So if it goes quiet, it's really just because I'm waiting to make sure that I get your replies. I can see you're asking any kind of analytics, and yes, we do. Actually, one of the guys here during our hackathon, he's just completed a basic analytics that you'll get in the dashboard as soon as you log into Magloft. So it will show you the number of issue downloads that the number of readers that request an issue from your device. So every time an issue is downloaded, it will count that and it will track it, and it will show you in a 30-day period. It will show you monthly over the course of a year, and it will show you for each issue and combined for all issues. That's just the first part of some more analytics that we want to integrate with. What we do is inside of the app, we'll add your Google Analytics tracking code. So you can use Google Analytics, and with that, we'll be able to track what buttons are pressed inside of your app. We'll be able to see what pages are viewed, what issues are requested. Do people click on the subscribe button? Do they click on the buy button? So we will get some usage statistics from there. We are continuously working on improving that. So right now we offer Google Analytics. Later on, we'll also offer other analytic SDKs like Flurry. So that option is going to be there as well. So in terms of analytics, yes, there is definitely going to be in the dashboard. If you decide to also for parse push notifications, they offer some analytics there. In terms of general app analytics, how well your app is doing. So Apple itself just recently, a few months ago, launched their own analytics. So you can see actually the traffic hitting the iTunes store, the App Store. And from there, you can see how many go ahead and download the app. And then, of course, there's App Annie, which is a third party. They monitor the entire, all the app stores, so they can show you more in-depth, also some competitive analysis and some things that you probably wouldn't know about your own app. So yeah, the delay is a bit annoying. Unfortunately, there's nothing really I can do about it, but hopefully it will improve over time. So as for the analytics, actually, I think we'll probably have an update tomorrow, or perhaps even tonight. I'm looking at my teammate and he's nodding. So perhaps during tomorrow, when you log into Magoff, you'll see on the getting started page, which we'll rename to dashboard, there'll be a simple graph that will show at least the number of issues that were downloaded. So we'll get that to you ASAP. Yeah, and again, there were about 5 people. I totally understand that you can't show up at every single webinar. So it's just you and me, Joan, special one-on-one time. So if there's anything else that I can help you with or answer or show you, just go ahead and let me know. Otherwise, we will sit and wait. Perhaps a couple of people are a bit delayed. We'll give them a chance. Otherwise, we might just call it an early evening and get back and do some more work. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen. It's going to be the offer screen, which you've seen already. It's going to be this page here. So inside of the magazine. And again, just go ahead, ask any questions. All right, here's another one. Cool. I've been playing with the HTML editor and it seems to be still a bit on the early. Yes, I will definitely give you that. It does take a little bit of trial and error and practice to get used to. There's a bunch of things that we have lined up. So I can give you a couple of examples here. If I jump into this issue here. And just to double check, you should be seeing my screen now. Yes, I should be the screen. Cool. Cool. So one of the things that we're definitely going to improve, and I can see our internet is a little bit sluggish here today. I'm going to jump to this page. Is I personally really want to eliminate this layer widget, because currently this is the widget that controls all of the padding and all of the spacing and some of the other special effects and features that you can really do to stuff that you put in here. So you can see all these different things in the border and the layout. These things, we want them to be standard for pretty much all of the widgets. So every time you drag a widget in, you can decide for that widget if you're going to give it some padding. And this is not going to be by entering numbers. And also currently, yes, actually, I could go ahead and log into your account and have a look. That was a great idea. How about we do that then? So for that, I just need to switch over here for a sec. And we'll jump in. Can you paste the email address that you used? I can jump in and have a look. I might be able to find your account without. And we'll just see. Yes. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, the email address that your account email address, that would be a help, because I don't seem to be able to find your account. Probably didn't use Joan as a name to sign up, I'm guessing, since I can't find it here. But I have another way of doing it. Ah, there we go. Yes. Gotcha. Right, I can see you signed up on the quick sign up. So that doesn't actually add your name. That's why I can't find you. So if you want to, you can go in the top right of your, actually, I'm getting into your account now, so I could do that for you. So let me share my screen again. we'll go in. So tell me what kind of struggles that you're having, if you're having any specific with the page that you're building, and hopefully I can help you out with that. Let's see here, go back to, here we go. All right. So you should be seeing my screen again, and this is the dashboard. This will change the dashboard, and this is where we'll have some analytics that you can have a look at, hopefully first thing tomorrow. So real quick, you can change the name of your magazine if you wish. Just click the drop down here and click this small edit button. I know we seem to hide that a little bit, but here you can just rename the title of your magazine. So if you want to do that, you can go ahead and do that. And of course, you can create a new magazine if you want to test out a different genre or niche, or just an entirely different magazine. And here's your account. So I'm just going to jump into your account, and I'm just going to add Joan. There we go. You can update with your last name if you wish later on. There we go. Cool. All right, motorcycle magazine. I like it. So here's let me start with a super positioning of things. I totally get that. I just want to have a quick look here at your images here. So this is one thing that we need to get better at explaining to you people as well. Let me see, open it in a new tab, because this is probably a fairly large issue. You can see it's quite big. So I'll just save this as Joan cover. I think this is probably your first issue. We'll call it cover 1 at least. JPEG. So that's the first thing. It actually needs to be a PNG, and I don't think we do a very good job of telling you that anywhere here. Let's see here, drag it. So we should really do that. Let me just get this one as well. Sorry. Open. Cover. Yeah, this is a huge one. Nice. Save that. And that will be Joan cover 2. This name doesn't matter at all. It's just really for my reference. All right, so I'll fix these up for you. What we do is they should be 768 pixels wide and 1024 pixels in height. So I'll fix that up for you. And then there's a really neat online service called TinyPNG. If you go there, tinypng.com, you can upload your PNG and it will crunch it down in size. So you want to make sure that it's 768 pixels wide and 1024 pixel in height. That's the dimension that iTunes want. And then you want to save it as a PNG and go to TinyPNG and then crunch it here, and it'll be a smaller, lighter. Yeah, okay, cool. Thanks for that. So now at least you know that you can update these. Let's go in. Let's try the first one, see if you have something in there. And if it's not, then I'll go ahead and have a look at the other one. So we'll kill this again. All right. Wow, well done. Really nice. This is actually really well done. Cool. So let me see how you, so this is one, you got a layer. Yeah, you got the source. That's it, very good. And then that means if I change it, yeah, exactly. You really nailed this. And so this is another thing that you just want to keep in the back of your mind when you create these issues. You want to really try and optimize the image size. So all of these, if they're PNG or JPEG, it doesn't matter. Use the tinypng.com service. It will work for both PNG and JPEGs as well. So you want to get them small. And I'm just curious to see whether or not this is a huge image, because then you might want to also resize it. So it's 1200 by 900 pixels. It's a little bit on the big side, but it might be okay. The size might actually not be that big, so just something to keep in mind. All right, so is that the first page? You have another page. The other is almost empty. This one is a good one. All right. Okay, yeah, I can see this is basically one of the standard themes. So let's jump out and have a look at this one here. You know Tiny PNG already, of course, awesome. Right, so this one is the, okay, very nice, very nice. I love these images. Yes, exactly, and also size of the, yeah, the actual issue, right? You don't want to have a too big of an issue and have people wait for it to download. Cool. So if there's anything specific, I mean, I saw the other table of contents page that you made. It's awesome. Very well done. Is there anything specific that you'd like me to give a test at? I see. This is a PDF. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me just make sure that that was, okay, this is the PDF and this is the type loft. Got it. So you're really testing both. That's cool. So for the PDF, for the PDF, it's fairly, it was a little bit more easy, right? Because you can just drag and it's absolute positioning, so you can move it around and resize it. So I'll go to the table of contents. Is it in this one or the other one? I'm guessing it's in the other one because this is your PDF. The red arrow image, yes. I think I have a clue of what you're hinting at. You want that to be a link, I bet. Let me see here. How large is this image? I placed it in the background image because I just wasn't able to place it in the right place as a layer. Okay. Layer. Yeah, so it's stuck in the, right, I got it. All right, cool. So what we can do, because I just, yes, I got it. All right, so here's the top layer, right? This one here's the top layer. There we go. And it actually, so, okay, so you got the image there and then you got the layer here. So here is the thing. They have to scroll. Okay, all right. So absolutely for the editor here, anything that you can do in images to kind of trick the eye definitely helps. And as for this one, I'm curious, so it actually ends right here. So what you could do, this is the entire layer. Let me see here, padding top. So if I were to do padding top, let's say I want to do 90 VH. So you can see now this image actually, I think, was that part of your original image here? It looked like it from this one, or maybe no. But if you saw what I did here, so the padding top, that pushes everything down that's inside of the layer. So what we can do, if you want to keep this as a image, we'll just kill that one. So you still got the image at top. You could drag this image completely outside of, yeah, I'm sorry, this delay is, yeah, well, at least, you know, it's live, it's not a trick webinar, but so I'm dragging this image outside. Let's see if I got it outside. It's a little bit tricky here when it's so far out. That's not gonna work. So I'm actually going to, let me just check that you have this. You should have this image in here somewhere, right? So it's one of these. I'm going to mess around with it. I'm not necessarily going to save it, so you can always redo it. But I'm just going to go ahead of get rid of this image here. There we go. Now it's done. So VH means vertical placement. So you can do percent and you can do VH. It basically means 90% of the screen height. It's a little bit technical explaining the difference between VH and percent, but usually if you want to make sure that it takes up like 90% or half of the screen height, you can do VH. So you can see here, this is fine with the the layer, 100%, that's cool. And then anything that you add in here, VH. I think even if you do like 100 VH, it shouldn't really change anything. So it's just a more, what should I call it? A more an absolute height, I guess. And again, you know, these are things that we want to change. Instead of having all these different measurements, we're just going to have like sliders, sliders to slide up and down. All right, so let's see if I can drag this in. You got 1, 2, 3. So I'm just going to take this one. I should be able to drag it on top of the layer and push it down. It just won't let me do that, huh? Maybe I can drag the layer below the image. There we go. Okay, so what I wanted was, I just wanted to have the image on top of the layer, because that means this image will always stay there. And if I go down, you know, it will scroll, it will zoom, and any size, really, it should also extend it out. What you can do, depending on the image size, responsive here means that it will scale up and scale down, but it will only scale up to its maximum width. So if this was a smaller image and it didn't fill the full width of the screen, then it will be centered and there will be white spaces. So you could select the full width, then it will always stretch to the full width of its container. If it's a smaller image, then it might stretch and look a little bit pixelated. For this one, it seems to be like a large image. So I think a responsive is good enough. Update that. Now, here's the layer. And you wanted something here at the bottom. Let's say you did want to have this as a link. So there it is. Let's see, do we have another small, aha, there we go. Let's try this. So I'm going to drag this inside of the layer. And there it is. And that is actually, so that's responsive. So if we do original size, that's interesting. This should, yeah, that won't work, obviously. This should center itself. Don't know why it doesn't do that. I'm sure you had that problem as well. I'll get the guys to look at that because this one should stay centered. Anyway, what you then can do is if you get hold of the layer and then you use the padding to push things down, you could push this down to, would it be 80 VH, something like that. So there you can see, I'm going to scroll the page, I'm going to scroll, that would be 80. So you might want to have it at 70. And then it's roughly, maybe it's 75, roughly where you want it, vertical position. And then you can double click it. Double click the image. This is a bit tricky as well. Usually you should be able to get the link icon. There it goes. So that was a bit weird. I'm guessing it's related to the fact that it won't center. Then you can click it and then you can actually make that image into a link. There's no feature for it to scroll down yet. That's something that we can do. But actually the native app has a feature. So the native iOS app has a feature that if you tap on the top or at the bottom or left and right, it will actually scroll down. So this is a good example of that. You don't actually need a link for this because at the bottom of the iPad, if you tap there, it will scroll down a page automatically. So that's one way to trick it like that. I guess really the trick here was using the padding inside of the layer here to get things positioned down. And granted, this is the whole challenge when you're creating responsive design. It's far easier to just drag it in and place it exactly where you want it, but then things won't respond very well on different devices. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, it's definitely something we have to look at. So back to your question on how much we want to do here. This is definitely an area that we want to have a look at and really put some effort and energy into. For the next hackathon that we're planning, it's either going to be the editor, or it's going to be the Android app. So it's one of those two. I mean, it's that high up on the list because this is a great idea, but it does need, and I will give you that, it does need a little bit more usability planned into it, make things a little bit easier. So for one, the layer, when you select it, you should be able to just perhaps drag down the padding or the borders here, the padding left, right, things like that. Make it more visual and easier for people to. I see you even got the parallax in there and behind. Oh, well done. Yeah, definitely have to test that on the device. This looks really good. It's well done. It's really well done, I must admit. And the fact, it's so cool. That's the whole gain of responsive. That if you go on a smartphone, and you know what it's like. I like to say that a tablet is portable, but a smartphone is pocketable. So we always have our smartphones with us. So this is just super sweet. Such a great example. A nice big image. And it's fun, people start, if you go landscape, you'll see more of the image. It's kind of, exploration and fun. You see, what can I get extra out of this app? So well done. All right, well, I'm glad that will probably do the trick for you. So there are a lot of different things. I don't remember. Did you have a device that you can actually preview this on? So I'm not gonna save this, Joan. I'll let you play around with this yourself because I've messed it up a little bit. So basically, what I did, I just deleted the image from here. But what you can do, you can just drag, delete the image, place a new one in, and then drag the layer down below. So I'm just gonna exit out, and I'm not gonna save. Yeah, and again, of course, that's right. Yeah, you only had Android, and we need to get that sorted as well. So here, of course, it's a little bit easier to just drag in. I'm pretty sure these are transparent, right? Just place it where you want it to be. But then again, it's going to make a small gap. Interesting. Nice. And find the folder in my Android. Okay. You know what? I'm going to ask Tobias about that. If that's even possible. That's very interesting, actually, because you can, of course, access your device through your computer. I'll ask him about that. And then let me just make a mental note of that. One sec. So, possible to transfer an HPub to Android. Good question. Good question. Cool. So this is an area you haven't started with yet, and that's fine. I mean, it's really all about the content, right? That's also why uploading a PDF is great. It's a good first step. Let me show you. If you use InDesign in our excuse me, we'll soon have here in the settings. So you'll actually be able to upload 2 versions of the same issue. Sorry, of the same issue for an issue. That sounded weird. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, for each issue that you create, you can upload 2 files. Let's say you go ahead with PDF, then you could upload a smartphone version that's designed to be a little bit narrower and taller, and you can upload a tablet version that obviously is a bit wider in the dimensions. I know InDesign you can use the layouts and you can export 2 different versions, and then you'd be able to upload those 2 different versions into an issue. And when a device requests an issue, our server will figure out and say, this is a phone, so we'll send down the phone version, and if it's a tablet, then we'll send down a tablet version. So that is done. It's coming out in the next release, which will be latest at the end of this week. Cool. And statistics coming out tomorrow. Yeah. Could you point me to some of your clients that are currently using Maglove so I can download their app and look at their magazines? Yes, I will create an email. I will make a list for you, and then you can go ahead and check them out and download some of them. I know probably half or more than half are using PDFs. High Voltage is one that uses PDF. There are about a handful or so that are using the editor. I'll find those for you and ship them off in an email so you can go have a look. Let's see, I know CMS Star is one. Sometimes my computer is weird. Yeah, I don't want to do that. So it should be on the App Store. But I'll find some and I'll send them to you so you can go and see and have a look. I want to do some more webinars or videos even, where I go into more detail on how you can use the HTML5 editor and really make things a little bit easier. We're also going to have the editor, I understand that completely. So we'll also have a new feature in the editor that will allow you to clone a widget, because let's say you wanted to have a couple more columns in here. Well, here you'd be able to just hit a button, clone, and it will make 2 new ones below. And I'm sure you know by now that that's going to save you a lot of time. Then you just have to replace the image. So for now, you actually need to drag in the column and figure out what are the settings. Cool, you've actually added HTML. Nice. I see. Neat. Right, but there is also there is a way to just use the widgets, but no, that's cool. Awesome. Yeah, nice. Really well done. Really impressed. Let's, what? It's interesting. Let's try something. I'll close this. I'm just going to go ahead and pack this up. Gonna go and set it to, actually, no, I don't need to do that. I'm gonna go into your account. I'm gonna snipe your access token. And now I have to think. All right, one sec. Just bear with me for one moment. I'm trying to download your issue into the simulator. So let me just find our master. Of course, if you have any other questions, just go ahead, fire them away, and I'll get right back to those. So I'm just loading up some stuff here. Sorry that nothing is happening. Just go to iPad. Let's see here. If I can make this work, that would be pretty cool. Settings and the token. Actually, let me just run this and see. Okay, just gonna swap over to another screen. Let's see here. It should be launching any second. So this is really a test that I'm putting myself out on a limb here. So I'm just loading up our standard. Did I get the correct? Yeah, it looks like it. So this should pull in our standard issues. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, I think this should work. So here on a device, I can go to my settings. I think I showed this last time as well. I think it's the top one. All right, we removed that. Okay, 1 sec. I can still make this work. I'm pretty sure. I'll add it here, and I'll run it again. Let me think. Okay, so I have to close this for a sec. There we go. Right, here it is. Let me just see if you had another question, then maybe I can answer that. Okay, whilst I'm getting this ready. What I want to try and do is I want to load up the simulator, and I want to pull down your issue because I want to see it live. There we go. That should do it. Let's see if it works now. It's always fun to try stuff when it has to work, right? It just has to work. Okay, let's see here. I'll share the screen again. Here we go. So what I've done is I've hard-coded your user ID. There we go. So you can see it's kind of stretching the cover image because it wasn't the correct dimensions. But let's go ahead. I should be able to get this now. Again, I hope it works. This is really, I'm out on a limb here, but it should work. Let me just see here. In your account, it's still packing, so it might actually not be ready. Yeah, it's still going. Hang on a sec. Right, I know what that is. I can fix that. All right, Wei, welcome. Welcome to the chat, man. Welcome to the webinar. If you have any specific questions, sorry, Joan. Yeah, totally, you got me. And you'll borrow. All right, cool. Yeah. All right. So I'm a little bit persistent. When I set my mind on something, I wanna see it through. So this will be the last attempt, and if it fails, then I will definitely try something else. But for now, let's see here if I can make this work. Should be able to. So this is 2593. I'm gonna see 93. Actually, let me try this one more time. It should be, it might actually be the correct one now, but it might also not have. Public, it should be issue. All right, so I'm trying to load up your issue here in the simulator, and it won't allow me to do it. Let's see. I should. Okay, but you can preview it on the device that you borrow. I'll look into this again. Like I said, this is a development branch, and there's probably something that I've broken somewhere else. Cool. All right, I'm gonna switch back. And let's see it as well. We're pretty good at spending time here. So we're coming up in 45 minutes, which is pretty cool. Wei, once again, welcome. If you have any questions, go ahead, type them into the text box, and I'll go ahead and answer them. We've got about 15 minutes left, so I won't be able to go through the entire presentation, but I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. And I should also mention that we are running a special this week because we're a hackathon. Basically, hackathon, we are putting in like 16 hours a day. We're really grinding and getting some new features out and improving everything of Maglofts that we can. So with that, there's the team working hard. What we've done is we've decided to remove the setup fee. So there's no setup fee. There's a 30-day, 100% money back guarantee. So there's no real risk at all. I know you guys know about Magloft already. You've been here for a while. So the steps is really easy. Log into your account, find the upgrade, and then use the coupon hack or webinar. I prefer webinar, but either way, it's the same coupon. It will remove the setup fee. So you're only out for $99 monthly, which includes everything. And of course, there's a 30-day money back guarantee. So if you, for any reason, aren't totally satisfied with Magloft and the way that it works, just send us an email and we will refund everything. And there's no hard feelings at all. That's the status. That's what we're doing. And yeah. I hope, of course, that you like it. And if there's anything that I can do to help, I'm always willing to come onto Skype for a one-on-one, doing webinars, doing videos, and basically just helping out wherever I can. So that was a bit of a rant. That was a bit of our pitch for tonight. This page that I showed you was on magloft.com/promotion. So there's where you can go and read a little bit more about it, find the code, and just in case, under publishing is where you find the upgrade now button. So this will take you, and it's kind of important that you select the correct magazine. You can see here in the URL, we've got some numbers and some stuff, and that's to help identify who you are. Here, I'm just going to jump straight to the order now, just to show you that it actually works. You can see here regularly it's $4.97 to get started, but if you enter webinar and hit the update coupon, boom, it's a webinar special, free setup. Setup's gone and you're down to the 99 with a 30-day money back guarantee. So just wanted to really quickly show you guys that as how it works. And we'll be doing it until, I know the page says, what does it say, Sunday? Our payment processing, the coupon dies on Sunday midnight CET, but that's going to be 6 a.m. our time, so we might pull it a little bit early. But yeah, it'll definitely be there all of Sunday. So no rush. And again, the 30-day money back guarantee. Cool. How will the new Apple News app impact Newsstand? That's a great question. So basically what's going to happen is Newsstand is going to be a regular folder. So you'll have an app, standalone app. That's a big plus. If you ask me, the Newsstand as it was on the App Store was kind of broken. It wasn't maintained. Apple did a horrible job of maintaining it. So it didn't actually fulfill its job. It didn't help publishers get found. So that's going away. It doesn't concern us at all. We're actually quite excited to see that Apple are having a news app in there. It's going to be a simple RSS feed to begin with. They have published and announced that they will do a special format, but we haven't seen anything of that yet. So as for discoverability, I think it's great that you can also now add a feed if you have a feed. If you don't have a feed, Magloft will do everything that we can in order to turn your content into a feed. So if you use the HTML editor, we'll be able to translate that into an RSS feed that you can then use in the, Apple's News app. There's a bunch of stuff that you can't do with the News app. You can't do in-app purchases, obviously. That requires a native app. You can't do push notifications in order to engage your readers and reactivate them and get them back. So there's a lot of core functionality. Any type of core functionality that you want to use in the app, we're going to have some new features where you can tilt the screen and it will move the image behind using the accelerometer and any other native features. You can't do that obviously in Apple News. So the way we see it, at first, yeah, we were like, oh, damn, what's going to happen now? But the way we see it really is that they complement each other. For those publishers that already have a website, that's great. You get a little bit more exposure through Apple News. And then as readers engage with your content, it'll be a simple upsell, and not even an upsell. You just say, hey, we have an app as well, which will run much faster on your device, and it can do some other things and allow you to stay connected with us. So that's really, moving forward in the long run. Having an app is great. It's especially great for engaging and re-engaging with your audience. So in terms of finding a new audience, yes, it can definitely help. There's a lot of techniques that will help you. Just being listed in the app stores is one. But where it really pulls through is the ability to re-engage and also, bring people back to your website. For most people, that is still one of the most valuable digital real estates that you have, right? It's your website. So both Apple News and native apps, they work together. They help you engage your audience and ultimately reconnect and bring them back to your website, bring them back to your opt-in, really make sure that they stay in your list, that you can continue to communicate and build a rapport with your readers. So let me just see the question. So I'm sure that already, like, kind of the basics of what's going to happen. I wrote a blog post about this on our blog.magloft.com, just putting that into the chat here. There's a post there I called Apple Kills Newsstand, I think. So it goes over some of the details of what actually is going to happen with iOS 9 and the newsstand, so you can read that there. But again, basically, you'll have a standalone app. Everything will work. Push notifications, in-app purchases, subscriptions, downloads, all that is still going to work. It's just a plus that you can now move the app out onto your desktop. Cool. That was a lot of babbling. I hope that answered the question. And if you have anything else, you're more than welcome to put that in. I can see we're creeping up on 1 hour here. So again, I can just remind you guys that if you go to www.magloft.com. You can schedule a Skype call, a one-on-one Skype session, if you'd like to do that. Be happy to cover anything in detail, where we can get an actual conversation going, where it's not only me just blabbing out over the Ethernet. So you're welcome to do that. And of course, you can find me almost anywhere. Even this one down here normally says we're online. Obviously now we're doing the webinar, so it's offline, but you can chat there, send me an email, hit me on Skype. And of course, we're doing more of these webinars. If you scroll to the bottom of this promotion page, you can see here there's a join webinar button. If you click it, it'll open a new window and it will show you all the different dates and times that I'll do a webinar. So yeah, 000, the webinar is ongoing. And there's where you'll find the schedule. So lots of ways to connect with us, get your questions answered, especially about the promotion. Will it be possible to translate the app? Yes, absolutely. You can have your app inside the app. You can have it in any language that you want. I guess I could show you actually just really, really quickly here. If I share a different screen with you, I'll share Xcode. We've got that here. So what we do is we have these localization files. So here you can say all the different messages inside of the app. So subscribe for free. We basically send you this file. That's the easiest we can do. And then you just change all the English and you change it to whatever it is in the language that you want to change it to. At some point, we will have this as a form on magloft.com, so you can just add it online and then we'll pull it from there. But for now, we would just send you a file like this and you would change all the different English to the language that you would like to use. As for the App Store itself, iTunes App Store, I know they've restricted it to some languages. Let me see if I can. You can't use all languages in the actual store listing itself. iTunes Store. Let's see here. I can find a link for you guys and I can. But basically, there is a set number of languages. Is it here? Changing the primary language. Adding new. I can find that a different time and send you the link. Or Google for it. They have about 20 languages that you can choose from. So the app inside, we can change everything there, and online. Sorry, on the app stores, there's some certain languages that you have to go to. Cool. You're very welcome, Wei. And am I pronouncing that correctly? Otherwise, tell me off. And Joan, awesome. Glad that can help you out. Good. Let's see. We are creeping up on an hour. You guys have been great. Thank you for coming. It's 10 p.m. here, so we've got a couple more hours before we will call it a night. We're going straight back to coding after this. If you have any questions, I'm just going to go back on this screen here. If you have any questions, then now is definitely time. We'll sneak in one or two last questions, and then we'll call it a night. And of course, again, always find me anywhere, ask me questions, let me know what's on your mind, what can we do, and we'll make it happen. And don't worry about this. It will run until Sunday. There's no massive rush, and I'll be sure to let you know before it closes. Cool. That was that, and this is that. I can just close that. And we are back to our promo. All right, guys. I know that there's a bit of a delay, so I'll wait a minute or two before I call it a night here. on the webinar, just to make sure that I see any last questions that you may have. And apart from that, I guess I can mention, and actually, it's really awesome for us. You know, we're totally excited today because we've managed to secure a deal with Yahoo. So we're working with Yahoo on a custom project for them, which is super great. It's going to help us develop our app. We're connecting with blogs so that publishers will be able to add their blog to MacLoft as well. And that will allow you to pull in your content, and you can refurbish it and move it around and pack it into issues. And with the help of Yahoo, you know, they're really helping us move forward with development. We're super excited about it. We're doing a single project with them. Hopefully everything is going to go great, which will lead to more projects, which will lead to even more awesome apps for you guys. So we're really excited about that. We're really excited about moving forward with blogs. We're really excited about moving forward with automating the whole app building process. Today, it's semi-automated, I'd say. So lots of cool stuff coming up, and I can't wait to share more details with you guys soon. So that was that. That was a second rant for me tonight. And thank you, Wei. That's great. That's good to know. It's just like I asked you that like 2 minutes ago. Google Hangouts, but glad you cleared that up for me. Good. Yeah, that's great, Joan. And again, you know, just let me know if there's anything, you know, if you come across a couple of things that's like, you know, this is a showstopper for me. I need this to work. We're always happy to see what we can do. You know, we'll throw in a couple of development hours specifically for some of those needs. And yeah, you know, we're really interested in helping out. That's the main thing. Great. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. And I am hoping that I'll hear from you soon. And have a great night. Have a great evening. Have a great day. And thanks for showing up. And yeah, thanks. See you. Bye-bye.